Thank you, Ellen. It's 6:55, 73 degrees. It's time for my final thought. Now, Monday morning, the bodies of Óscar Alberto Martínez Ramírez and his 23-month-old daughter, Valeria, were found face down in the water on the Mexico side of the Rio Grande River across from Brownsville, Texas. The picture is so disturbing, we've decided not to show it on the air. Martínez was attempting to get his family to the American side of the river after leaving El Salvador on April 3rd and spending 2 months in Mexico at a migrant camp waiting for an appointment to apply for asylum to enter the U.S. Meanwhile, stateside, the Associated Press reported that more than 300 kids were moved out of a Border Patrol station in Clint, Texas, following an expose about the facility's conditions, which included children caring for one another, rampant illness, and more. And then there's Sarah Fabian, a Justice Department lawyer speaking on behalf of the Trump administration, who argued in court that the federal government wasn't legally required to provide soap and toothbrushes to detain migrant children. Now, she's since attempted to backtrack on that quote after significant backlash, but it's a little late for damage control once you put something that heartless on the record. The migrant crisis has officially reached peak levels of inhumanity. Families are being separated and torn apart. Children and parents are both dying. All the while, most of America turns a blind eye to their plight because they're foreign and brown. A modern-day tragedy is unfolding right before our very eyes, but too many of us have chosen to ignore the conditions of people in the migrant camps and detention centers they're living in. With these tragic stories of inhumane treatment and premature death becoming a regular occurrence, people of good conscience can no longer sit idle. In the words of Edmund Burke, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. We're going to continue this conversation online. You guys have a beautiful Wednesday. Get up, DC.